Standing by, and I hear there's a lot trending on social media.
Good morning, Ria. You flatter me. There's always stuff happening on Monday because over the weekend, lots of political gospels and brouhaha. So Mondays are very, very hot, you guys. Can I take it away?
Take it away.
Good morning, Nigeria. As always, TVC has a finger on the pulse and an eye on the streets. And here on this segment, we bring you trending stories from not just Nigeria, but across the pond in order to have dialogue about the things that are shaping the world that you and I live in. We begin today with some news from the EFCC, where half of Nigeria's current governors, 18 out of 36, are under investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. This is according to the agency's chairman, Ola Olukoyede. Now, speaking in Lagos at a sensitization event for entertainers and bureau de change operators, Olukoyede said that those found guilty will be prosecuted once their tenures end. But while this revelation grabbed headlines, it's a lack of details that's fueling conversation on social media. He didn't give any names, no names were mentioned, no timelines were given, and Nigerians are now demanding answers and transparency. Adding to this drama, in the same speech, Olukoyede recalled a case of a former governor who fled the country after spraying £50 notes at his own birthday party in the UK. The ex-governor, who was already under EFCC's watch, triggered a police call when hotel staff noticed the money flying about. Talk about a culture shock. Olukoyede is now urging musicians and celebrities to stop glamorizing naira abuse at parties. He rejects claims that spraying money is a cultural tradition in Nigeria. But I think the big question here remains, if transparency is the goal, why doesn't the EFCC name names? It's important to realize that we can't fight corruption in the dark. We can't fight corruption in secret. Transparency is key. We must expose name and shame. But let's take a look at social media. I'll take 3 tweets on this. Daniel Okani says, I don't know why it has become impossible to achieve Nigerians' desired intention to see how corrupt politicians are punished publicly. Enough of a back and forth. Please, we are tired of hearing this postponed prosecution. Yaya Bello is there. Settle his case first. And Dr. Olukemi Oluloyo says, Dear Olukoyede at official EFCC, tell Nigerians the ex-governor mistakenly arrested by Scotland Yard in London for spraying GBP. You said 18 fled the country. Tell Nigerians which one before I do. Hashtag Kemi Talks Nigeria. One thing about Dr. Kemi Oluloyo, she's going to come with the receipts, whether they're true or not. Igboete says, how about those their tenure ended long ago? What did he do? He's just an ordinary noise maker. Interesting. Moving on to politics internationally. UK Conservative politician Kemi Badenoch has ignited backlash after claiming that her children are ineligible for Nigerian citizenship because she is a woman. And this is a statement that directly contradicts Nigerian law. Now, in a recent interview centered on immigration, Kemi Badenoch used her family to make a broader argument about what she sees as an imbalance in how citizenship and cultural integration are handled between Nigeria and the UK. Listen to this interview.
So you say to somebody who's coming from Nigeria and wants to create a little mini Nigeria in Britain.
No, that is not right. And Nigerians would not tolerate that. That's not something that that many countries would accept. There are many people who come to our country, to the UK, who do things that would not be acceptable in their countries. It's virtually impossible, for example, to get Nigerian citizenship. I had that citizenship by virtue of my parents. I can't give it to my children because I'm a woman. Yet loads of Nigerians come to the UK, stay for a relatively brief period of time, acquire British citizenship. We need to stop being naive.
However, Nigeria's constitution tells a different story. Now, Section 25 clearly states that any child born outside Nigeria to either Nigerian parents is entitled to citizenship by birth, their gender notwithstanding. And of course, her remarks have drawn a lot of sharp criticism and conversation. And many people are accusing her of spreading misinformation and using outdated gender narratives to score political points, not to talk of the fact that this is against Nigerian law. And it's simply not true. I think Kemi Badenoch struggles between identity and ambition. A lot of her stances seem to try to distance herself from her Nigerian roots. But a lot of times we have to ask ourselves, is her criticism ever constructive, or do we dismiss it simply because she's this Kemi Badenoch that we love to hate? I don't know. Let's take a look at what you guys think. Daniel Ojuku says, for anyone who doesn't already know, Kemi Badenoch lied. Her children are in fact automatically Nigerians per our constitution. Only her husband cannot become Nigerian by marriage. Her kids are Nigerian because their mom is. Petkoff says, but funny enough, Nigeria has a very tight and stringent immigration rule, which is very crazy. If countries retaliate, it will be crazy. For a country with no value to sell to the world, yet the immigration rules are so tight. Very interesting. Moving on, US-based Nigerian academic and columnist Farouk Barogi has apologized after sparking outrage with a Facebook post about former First Lady Aisha Buhari. In the now deleted Facebook post, Barogi claimed that Aisha had divorced the late President Muhammadu Buhari before his death and that he had asked her for forgiveness before he passed. Now, these claims were shared, of course, while the Buhari family is still in mourning, and it drew a lot of hate online for being insensitive and intrusive. Barogi later admitted that the post was a serious lapse in his judgment, and he acknowledged the hurt that it might have caused. Although in a more cheeky way, he did maintain the credibility of his source, and he stood by the accuracy of the information. He also accepted that the details were never meant for public consumption. He also recognized Aisha Buhari's right to define her own story, regardless of what others may claim to know. Of course, this saga has reignited an age-old debate in journalism and public commentary. Where should the line be drawn between telling the story and respecting the silence? This is a core dilemma in journalism, telling the truth while also having sensitivity and understanding the climate in which you are reporting certain news. This is very interesting. We must remember that we want to tell the truth, but we also want to be sensitive. Let's take a look at social media. Bashir Ahmed says, Farouk Barogi's reckless and ill-timed publication about the personal life of the former First Lady, Her Excellency Aisha Buhari, a widow in mourning, is a grave disservice to the very profession that he teaches, journalism. You can't be a journalism teacher and specialize gravely in speculative reportage. To act on second-hand claims, admit they were not intended to be public, and then seek refuge behind an apology after the damage is done is not courage. It is cowardice dressed as contrition. We'll take one more tweet. Miss Law says, Farouk goofed yet again, as many had suspected. It's such a shame. I have lost count of his apologies, retractions, recounts, and corrigendum. He seems to have a penchant for just writing before thinking, and it's a sign of good strength of character to be able to apologize when one is wrong, but definitely not when you do the damage that you do repeatedly. Team, this is very interesting because all of us are journalists. We understand the profession, and we understand that even here on this set, we can't just say anything that we like. And so for this man to come out, yes, you are a journalist, but there are journalistic ethics that we must follow. Objectivity, sensitivity, neutrality, lots of them. We stand by a code in this profession. And while this woman is in mourning, Aisha Buhari, you come and you publish things about her personal life. What do you make of this as fellow journalists?
For Barogi, for being a journalist and a teacher, to budding journalists, you can't make mistakes like this. It's not just unforgivable. For me, you can apologize from now till next year. This is a professional goof of epic proportions, if I could say that, because it came from a seasoned journalist. Yeah, there are times where the timing of a story has to go beyond the person involved, but that's when there's risk of mass loss of lives, something serious like that. Not on a personal, very personal story about a lady that is grieving the death of her husband. This is not professionally forgivable. You might have apologized, but this man is not taking your apology. All right, for Kemi has a way of saying negative things about Nigeria, and I wonder why. If you want to go on an interview like this, and you should read before you say something. You're a public office holder, Before you say something, you should be very sure of what you're saying, because it will be interpreted, it will be analyzed, and it will be sold to every corner of the world. She did Nigeria a disservice, and she should apologize to Nigerians. And for the EFCC chairman, some of these people he's talking, those that are still in office, they enjoy immunity. Those that are out of office do not enjoy immunity. But, you know, bringing out too much information might also jettison some investigations. I'm not defending him, but I'm just pointing out reasons why he may not have had the opportunity or the latitude to call names.
All right, I'll pick up from there. Then probably he shouldn't have said anything, because now when you say things, you put people's mind, people want to know. And I think that it's high time we start putting names to these things, because when you're fighting corruption, you cannot fight it by hiding. You need to open up at fighting corruption. So I think that, you know, as he said that, maybe just give us some names, because I feel like when you shame these people, then it teaches people not to do it. Not telling us that their people are not, you know, telling us who the people are. So I think that that needs to be worked on. And moving on the journalistic story, I feel very sad that a journalist will do this, because if there's anything I learned in journalism and what we practice on this table a lot, it's not just, you don't run to break the news, you actually break what is accurate. And it's so sad that this family, they are mourning, and, you know, you're bringing this out. It could be true, it could not be true. That's between them. You know, if she didn't want it out now, I don't think he had any right to bring it to the public. As a journalist, there are different things we need to learn. It's not about breaking the news, it's about breaking the right news. Rather keep quiet if you're not sure about it, and also if you're sure about it, let them bring it out before you bring it out. It was too sensitive. This family, they are mourning. We've been seeing a lot of comments, even his daughter, you know, speaking about how she'll miss her father, and then you're bringing this out. I think that is the wrong time, and his apology doesn't even sit in for me. Talking about his apology, I don't even understand his apology. And this is not the first time Olamide. He's done it over and over again. He'll say things, he'll retract things. That is not how a journalist should be. You need to be through, you need to be just, and you need to stand by your words. And which other story? Kemi as well. She doesn't sit well with Nigerians already. Nigerians do not like this person because of her stance always. I think that she should have gotten her information right before she would say that on such a big platform, because right now Nigerians are scrutinizing what she said.
Absolutely.
Well, I disagree that Nigerians don't like her. Some Nigerians like it when people say negative things about Nigeria, even though that thing is not correct. And I guess that's
negative or true?
Some negative things about Nigeria, and that's where Kemi Badenoch, finds herself. Whenever she says some things, she just wants to denigrate Nigeria to please our colonial masters, you know, who are there, just to feel, yeah, I'm doing your bidding, I'm reasoning like you. Africa, Nigeria is like a jungle. Those people do not, you know, they're never do wells. But she was actually, you know, factually incorrect, you know, saying that, you know, that our children are not eligible for Nigerian citizenship. That's not correct. Yeah. They are Nigerians, whether they are born in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, as long as either of their parents is a Nigerian, then of course they are eligible to be called a Nigerian citizen, and ditto to the UK citizenship as well. So one thing is, Kemi Badenoch, let's her enjoy it. Conservative, she's just, you know, pleasing them. So we'll see what happens when the election comes. Talk about Farouk Perogi. I think Farouk Perogi is one person that I love to read his articles. You know, he's very sound. He's one person like Sam Omashe that if you want to read the articles, just look for a dictionary so that you understand what they write and the context, you know, and then you learn a lot in the process. But this is a faux pas on his side, you know, someone of that repute. And I know that he had been a staunch critic of former President Muhammad Buhari, saying that he didn't have any personal thing against him, but he's always criticizing him. I guess, you know, he's not happy that he's dead, because how do you now criticize someone who is dead? So I guess that's the reason he went to the wife, like, you guys are divorced, and then, so to what end? What did he want to achieve, you know, with that? So he had apologized. I don't know whether that's, what do we call that word? I've missed the word, but whether the apology is genuine or not, that remains to be seen. I'll talk about Olukoyede. I think the current EFCC chairman, asking him to name the governors. Don't forget, they are under investigation. They are under probe. They've not said that they are guilty of the questioning. They are guilty of these allegations. And that is the problem we had with the previous administration or administrations of the EFCC, where you have, yes, we are chasing this person and that, and there is nothing out of it. They will not come out. They will not come out with anything reasonable, anything tangible. So I think they should be able to lay their hands on something. And if you look at this current dispensation, they've made almost the largest recovery, from some of these corrupt officers, not just governors, not just some governors or public office holders. You know, he's been there, Germany, here and there, chasing stolen funds. So I think let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let them do their probe very well, and then when they are able to nab them, let them give us this, the result of this, so that we'll be able to, assess its
Absolutely. Thank you so much for those submissions, as always. Moving on in the world of social media, a group of young men in Eleme, Rivers State, have gone viral on social media after allegedly being caught hosting what is being described online as a homosexual party. Now, the trending video shows the individuals, many appearing visibly young, lined up and questioned by unidentified security operative, and each admits openly to being, in quote, gay, although observers have raised concerns that the confessions may have been coerced. But listen to this video. Take a look.
So now I want you to explain to me. Look me. Are you guys gay or not gay? You guys are gays. Okay, wait, I'm coming. Are you gay or not gay? Speak out, my friend. Gay or not gay? You guys are gay. Gay or not gay? You are gays. Thank you, and God bless all of you. I want to show you so that you caution your children how they move with elderly men that claim to be their brother or their good friend. So now I want you to explain to me. Look me. Are you guys gay or not?
Now, what has unsettled many Nigerians online isn't just the claim of a same-sex gathering, but the visible age disparity between some of the boys. Several of them appear to be minors, as you just saw, while others are clearly older men. And it raises a lot of uncomfortable questions around possibly grooming, around consent, and of course, the influence of Western LGBTQ+ culture on Nigerian youth. Under Nigerian law, let's not forget, homosexuality is criminalized. The Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act, which was signed in 2014, stipulates the famous 14-year jail term for anyone who's convicted of engaging in same-sex relationships or activities. This is very, very troubling. These young boys are struggling with their identity, clearly, and instead of these men in their space to be pillars of community and guide them the right way, they're exploiting and grooming them. I really hope that the police pick up on that video, not for the young boys, but for the grown men. But they are innocent until proven guilty. Let's take a look at social media. Wisdom J says, why not hand them immediately to the police and not this media parade? They have a right of innocence until they are proven otherwise in court. You've already declared them guilty with this media parade. If things should work well, then we should respect and observe procedure. We'll take 2 more tweets. He says, if someone is gay or lesbian, what is anybody's business when he or she is not your biological family? Very interesting. Now to the entertainment industry. Actor Jim Ike is trending, and it's not for a movie role this time. The Nollywood star set the internet abuzz yesterday with a candid, cheeky, and surprisingly emotional birthday tribute to fellow actress, my girl, Kate Henshaw. Now, in the Instagram post, Jim took fans on a walk down memory lane, reminiscing about their early days in the industry. He revealed that while Kate was one of the people that gave him audition tips and helping him with transport money and offering him steady support, he was silently nursing feelings that went far beyond friendship. But, as he put it, she kept him firmly in the brother zone. And he confessed that he wasn't in the right headspace to handle what could have been between them, even when things finally did shift for him. And he ended his birthday message with a wistful line about how they would have made a beautiful child together. Now, the post has left many fans entertained, surprised, and just a little nostalgic for old Nollywood. I mean, could we have had a Kate Ike by now? Doesn't sound right. Doesn't sit well on the tongue, if you ask me. But do you have an interesting perspective you'd like to share? Please tag us with the hashtag TrendingNowTVC on any social media platform. I promise you that we are listening. Now, team, this is very interesting. These young boys being paraded, and on camera, they're openly admitting to being, in quote, gay. They're not under any coercion, as we can see in the video, but we don't know what happened behind the scenes. Please.
Being under coercion, yes, I think there were. I think they were coerced to make those confessions. I don't like the fact that they were paraded before going through the processes of the law. I mean, you've decided that they're guilty already. For Jim Ike, I wouldn't blame you, Jim. You know, Kate is a beautiful woman. She's over 50 and she's looking 30. And if you feel that way,
Once again, happy birthday to Kate. She looks totally beautiful. And Jamaica will always be Jamaica. I had to read the comment to the end. I'm like, okay, then my heart came to rest. Because from the beginning, I was so scared. But anyway, that was a funny one and we loved it. Now, talking about those kids, there was a tweet that you read and she said, what is our business? Our business is because they are children, okay? And we need to look into that. We also know that, this is illegal in Nigeria as well. So we definitely need to look into that.
Actually, our business is the fact that what they're doing is completely wrong. Mm-hmm. Sexual relations is between man and woman. And of course, married, people. So not just anything from the grapevine. So they should, do the term. If they're found guilty of what they've done, they should face the music. And Jamaica, you know how it feels when you look at someone that you felt that you did not imagine that would still remain, that in a pristine form, so to speak. In that age, you'll be thinking, I will have shot my shot. Oh.
I love how she brought us in.
When I had the chance.
That's about it.
All right.
Amazing. Well, that was beautiful. Do we have more stories, Olamide?
No, we're done.
All right. Okay.
That's
Thank you so much for those
today.
beautiful stories. Well, that's all we can take today. But don't forget, the views and reactions of our guests are theirs and have no connection whatsoever with TVC. Also, your view is very important to us. So Morayo and the beautiful ladies are up next. And just after that is This Morning with Yori Folari. Good morning, Nigeria. I'll see you tomorrow.